associates. These two particular guys were the name of Johnny No-Nose Cannelloni and his cousin Jimmy the Greek Salami. The three of us are what you call wise guys. We run the syndicate in the East. Now, me and them with positions of a power like ours, we have to keep our ears to the wall and our eyes to the keyholes. We gotta know what's going on in our territory, and we gotta know what's going on in the other guys' territory too. In our business, you ain't smart and well-informed, you don't last too long. Capiche? Now, one guy we keep a particularly close eye on is called the Bossa Herod. Herod, he runs a dirty racket. He cruel when he don't need to be, and he's just plain stupid on top of that. But he surrounds himself with a lot of muscle, so he's pretty well protected. Anyway, one of our spies in the Herod's camp, he come to us and he said, Herod is all upset about some new guy coming on the scene, supposed to be some kind of a boss of a bosses or something like that. Herod, he afraid this new guy going to come in and take over his territory and maybe even rub him out. Now, any enemy of Herod's is a friend of ours, so we decided we're going to do a little digging ourselves to find out more about this guy. Turns out that Herod's magicians have been predicting this guy's arrival for quite some time. And this guy, he descended from the line of a boss of David. Now, we all know boss of David. He's the guy that took out the most famous hit man of all time, Goliath the Enforcer. And then he worked his way up through the ranks and he became a boss himself. We got nothing but a respect for anybody that's related to boss of David. So we dig around a little more, we find out that this guy, he got calling himself maybe the Christ, or maybe the Messiah, or maybe the Good Shepherd, or maybe the Great I Am. This guy, he got more aliases than I do. So, here's the thing we found out at last. This guy that he got a Herod all the shaking in his sandals is a little bitty bambino. Can you imagine that, a big tough guy like a boss of Herod being afraid of a little baby? So, we figured if this guy going to be some kind of new boss, maybe we might want to go and pay him a visit. Couldn't hurt to start negotiations as soon as possible, even if he is just a kid. So, Mama Spaghetti, she always taught me, you go to see somebody, you take a nice gift. So we decided we're going to bring this kid some welcome to the family gifts. I decided I'm going to take him some gold. I mean, who don't like a nice hunk of gold, am I right? Now, Johnny Cannelloni, he decided he's going to give the kid some cologne. Johnny, he used to work for boss of Frankie Sinatra. Frankie was all the time buying this expensive French cologne and giving it to Johnny for his birthdays or whatever. Johnny had about 10 bottles of the stuff just laying around, so he decided he's going to give it the kid Frankie's scents. Don't shoot at the messenger. Now, Jimmy Salami, he said his present going to be a surprise. So he come out, he got this big box, he's all wrapped up with the colored paper, tied up with a big red bow on it. I got a tag hanging on it that say, Merry Christmas. I said, Jimmy, what the heck is a Christmas? Jimmy, he said, I don't know, it came up to me in a dream. It's a Jewish thing, ain't it? I said, Jimmy, I don't know from Jewish, but I ain't never heard of something called the no Christmas. Jimmy said, okay, I fix it. So he reached over and he tear off a part of the tag, and now it just to say Merry. I said, Jimmy, we can't give a kid a present with a tag that say Mary. Mary is a girl's name. Jimmy goes, I fix it. So he reached over and he tear off some more of the tag, and now it just to say a myrrh. So we take it to call the kid the gold and the frankincense and the myrrh. So we all decided we were loading up the camels and getting ready to start go looking for this guy. And we get a word that a boss of Frankie Sinatra, he want to pay his respects to. And he's already sending his good friend, the Dean Martin, on ahead. And old Dean, he got a 3-day head start on us. So we figured just to go to work out to our advantage, the easiest thing to do is just follow the star. Don't shoot the messenger. So on our way there, we decided we're going to stop in and pay a little visit to a boss of Herod. It's never a good idea to go through another guy's territory without announcing your arrival. So we see Herod, we tell him we're looking for the kid. And Herod, he played like he all happy the kids are coming on the scene. He said if we find the kid, to come back and tell him so he can pay his respects too. Now Mama Spaghetti, she didn't raise no dummies. I can see the wheels are turning in Herod's greasy little mind. I say, okay, we think about it. But that night I had a dream, and in this dream, Herod was trying to bump the kid off. So I decided maybe we go back a different way. Herod can take care of his own territory. But long the story short, we finally find the kid. He's at a place called Bethlehem Animal Shelter. And they got a bunch of cages in the back, and the kid is there. There's animals all around, and the kid is there. I don't know why. Anyway, when I first see this kid, I know he's something special. I tell you, I ain't never seen a sweeter face in my whole life. And the kid, he just radiated a power, you know. You could feel it coming off of him in waves. But at the same time, you got a feeling that just being in the same room with the kid, you are in the safest place in the whole world. Weird. Anyway, we give the kid our gifts, and I tell his parents that Herod might be sniffing around for them. Maybe they should take a nice little vacation somewhere south of the border. I told him out here Egypt was nice at this time of year. Then we load up the camels and we go on back home. The funny thing is that though, ever since I saw this as a kid, I've been thinking about maybe giving up the gangster life. Maybe retire and open a nice little Italian restaurant somewhere. It's a funny old world, ain't it? One more thing. I was sitting in your congregation when you all were passing the plate, and I was noticing who didn't put anything in there. You guys might want to consider buying some ornaments and a hockey tickets on your way out. I would hate to come back here and make you an offer you cannot refuse. After all, I ain't retired just yet.